Angeli, is that you that's on here? Angeli.
Oh, yes, I'm here.
Hi, Angeli. This is Becky. She's our guest tonight. She's going to help us out and give us some good tips for what she does in her business. And, just kind of please stop. Sorry.
No, awesome.
Extras in the background. We just are a very new team, and everybody's kind of moving and spreading apart. So actually, we probably need to be Zooming more. So kind of maybe hoping for some good tips on what you do, Becky.
Okay.
So we'll just turn it over to Becky.
All right, cool. So my name is Becky Fenstermaker. I am in Columbus, Ohio. I joined this business back in January of this year, so I'm still fairly a newbie, but I was blessed with a really great upline, and honestly, this business just came at the perfect time in my life. When I joined, my husband was working 3 jobs. I was babysitting out of my home literally 24/7. I was babysitting first shift, second shift, third shift. I was watching overnight, date nights, weekends, holidays, you name it. Whatever I had to do to help my husband pay the bills. And as good as the money is with babysitting, it still just wasn't allowing us. It was tearing me away from my family. So even though I got to be there when my daughter went to school, got to get her off to school and on the bus, and I was there when she came home, it limited the time that we had one-on-one. I was always with her, but we always had other people's kids. So back in November of last year, about a year ago almost, I remember sitting at my parents' house at Thanksgiving and just, how you feel really bloated and full after you eat a big old Thanksgiving meal. And that was me. I was just like, oh my goodness, that was delicious. I felt amazing. Now I have to go to the bathroom. And I went to the bathroom, and luckily I got on the scale after I used the restroom and hopped on that scale and just felt the tears. I had not realized I don't even know how the weight I had put on the weight over the years. I come from a background of being very active and healthy, always being in sports, always being on the go. In fact, I used to train as oh my gosh, I can't even think of the words. I'm so tired tonight. Sorry. But I used to lift weights, and I was training as a power lifter. And so I used to be really, really fit. And somehow over the years, I took it as being a mom that my kids came first, and I put myself and my health on the back burner. And so that weight just kind of crept up on me. And so when I saw that number, I thought, oh my gosh, this was like devastating to me to see that, I was inching towards 300 pounds and never saw it coming. And so I thought, I've got to do something about this. So I had been following a girl that I went to high school with. We actually were in show choir and concert choir and stuff together in high school. And we had kept in contact over the years. And I had watched her do several other network marketing businesses and succeed but leave. I never really stayed with anything until about 4 years ago. I noticed she started with It Works, and I thought, okay, sure, she's going to start with this. It's going to be one of those fad things. She's going to lose some weight, and then she's not going to be able to keep it off, or she's not going to be successful, and she's going to move on to another network marketing business. And little by little, as the years passed, I noticed she was keeping the weight off, and she was being healthy. And I watched her go from being a family on food stamps, and she was a Lutheran school teacher, and her husband owned his own construction business, and they were having to stand in line to get food, and they were on government assistance, all the government assistance you could think of. And I thought, that's me. That's where we were. That's where me and my family were. And I thought, I'm tired of working so hard. There's got to be more to life than just getting up, going to work to pay the bills, and that's it, and not ever being able to actually enjoy the things in life, the experiences, and giving my kids those experiences in life. So January 3rd, I kind of drug her along a little bit. I was one of those fence sitters that we all just hate to talk to. So I was one of those. And she would message me every few days, ask how I was doing. She was commenting on my posts, which didn't seem out of the ordinary because she had already been doing that. She had been continuing to build on that relationship all through the years. But I was a fence sitter, and I would say, yeah, I definitely want to join. give me a couple of days or give me a couple of weeks to come up with the money. And I made every excuse in the book, every excuse that we hate to hear that gets us down and we think this person's never going to give. I messaged them. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the wow factor follow-up that Cami Dempsey uses. The wow factor follow-up has been huge for me in the last 10 and a half months. And my upline actually used the wow factor follow-up on me. And it worked. And she said, have I said something to offend you? Or have I done something to upset you? And that gave me a sense of urgency. Like I needed to let her know. Yes, she saw I was reading her messages, but I wasn't responding. But when she asked me that, I was immediate. Like it gave me that sense of urgency. Like I need to respond to her and let her know she hasn't hurt my feelings. She hasn't done anything wrong. I didn't know how to respond to her because I don't have the money. I really want this. I need this for my family, but I don't know what else to do. And so she just started telling me, like if this is something you really want, and it's something that you want for your family, how badly do you really want this? Where do you want to be a year from now? And I thought, well, I definitely don't want to be where I'm at now, financially and emotionally. I was taking 11 prescription medications. I was taking 16 pills a day altogether. And I just always felt like I was in this fog, like I was kind of trapped in my own body. And I was a couch potato, didn't want to get up off the couch, didn't want to go do anything, didn't want to be around other people. And I found that she sent me a couple of samples of greens. And I have always, and I can say this on a Zoom because we're not public, but I have suffered with really debilitating migraines for over 25 years. And when she sent me those first few samples of greens, I thought, okay, well, it's not bad. I don't mind it. But I noticed that I didn't have a headache for those couple of days. But then after I went through those 3 packets, it was like the migraine came back. And so I was like, well, it didn't work. She said, well, you're not taking it anymore. And so I thought, well, if I'm going to consider doing this as a business, I know that I have to become a product of the product. But I can't afford the $99 and the money to, get the products that I wanted to get started with. Because how can I expect to sell something if I'm not using it myself? Even if it was just one product like the greens or the fat fighters or whatever, I knew that I had to do something. So how I joined was I didn't tell my husband because I knew that he was going to be like, no, it's a scam. It's a pyramid scheme. It's a network marketing scam. And so I thought, you know what? I'm at the point in my life where I am just going to do it. If I want to do something, I'm just going to do it, but I'm going to give it 110%. And I thought, what else do I have to lose? Because you get that box of wraps in your kit, and all you have to do, if I can just sell those 4 wraps, I've already made my money back, so he can't be too mad at me. So I sold a couple of things. I sold a pair of shoes. I sold a mirror. And then I used that to pay down a credit card, so I had just enough of a credit limit left where I could buy my business builder kit and get the ThermaFit Fat Fighters and Greens to get started. And before I even got my kit, I knew that I needed to get those wraps sold before they ever came because I needed to make that money back right away. And within 3 days of just making a couple of posts and just reaching out to people, I had all 4 of those wraps sold. So I knew I had my money back. I hurried up and paid it back off on my credit card. And I thought, all right, cool. So I've got those wraps. Those people wanted to become customers. And within my first 8 days, I had my first 6 loyal customers and I had my first distributor. And so business was going really, really well. And I started noticing I was feeling better. 2.5 months in, my doctor approved me to come off every single one of my prescriptions. So I was no longer, having to pop 16 pills a day anymore. So I felt amazing. I had great energy. The migraines were gone from day one. As long as I take my greens every day, I don't have any issues with my migraines. And I just started to notice that all I was doing was sharing. I was just sharing what the products were doing for me and what products I was taking. And just by sharing my testimony with people, that's what was getting people's reactions to just be off the charts. They're like, wow, like you seem so much happier. You're smiling. You never get out of the house and now you're going places and doing things and you're making friends with people. And like, this is the Becky that the people that have known me my entire life have known for so long. But something was holding me back. And so I just started, like I said, the most important thing for me was I knew that I needed to share what I was doing, what products I was taking, and how they were helping to change my life. And the customers just started coming. And then I started getting, distributors to join me on this journey. And I got to Ruby. I promoted to executive in under 30 days. And then I promoted to Ruby in under, I think it was 48 days. But I had a lot of people against me. And when I say that, I know a lot of us don't have that support. Maybe not right away and maybe not ever. I know a presidential diamond from Minnesota that did not have her husband's approval until after she was presidential for about 6 months. And I mean, think of the money that presidential diamonds make, and she still didn't have the support at home. So, but I knew for my husband, I was going to have to do something dramatic. And so when I first joined and he said, I was doing my first training Zoom with my upline, and I was doing my eSuite training, and it was her and her husband, and I was so excited. I was on fire. I was ready to rock this business. And here I am on my computer, and I'm getting messages on my phone from my husband of screenshots of definitions of network marketing scams, pyramid schemes, how much money are they going to take us for? How long are you going to do this? Because they're going to break us. And I thought, you know what? Let's just make a deal. If I don't go Ruby and grab, because at the time there was the double good bonus of $1,000. I said, if I don't go Ruby and grab that $1,000 bonus in my first 90 days, then I'll quit and I'll just use the products. And so that gave me that fire to talk to every single person I came in contact with. And I went Ruby in about, I think it was 48 or 58 days. Excuse me. And I just continued to build and grow from there. Here I am 10 months in. I want to say it was back in, I went Ruby. It was in March. And then I was Ruby from March, April, and May. And then in June, I lost my Ruby. And if you've ever lost rank, you know how hard that can be. And it's really, really hard to get that leadership level back. And so I got a little down in the dumps for about a month and a half. And then Green Carpet happened. And I went to Green Carpet, and my Black Diamond upline is Cami Dempsey. And so we were invited, the few of us from our team that went to Green Carpet, we were invited to go to lunch with her. And so we went to lunch, and we got to go to lunch with Cami Dempsey and Kyler Pentecost. So that's her brother, for those of you that don't know. So here we are sitting at a table with a couple millionaires, multimillionaires. And I'm like, this is pretty awesome. This is really awesome. And we were in like a private banquet room. And then out of the corner of my eye, I saw some people walking. And it was Joel and Stephanie Dunn. And I thought, if anybody can give me motivation, it's those two. And everybody's like, you can't just walk up to Black Diamonds and talk to them. And I said, well, why not? They're just people like you and me. So I grew a set of balls, and I went up to him, and I talked to him, and I said, hey, Joel, hi, Stephanie. My name is Becky Fenstermaker. I'm from Ohio, and I just wanted to ask you, what do you do? Like, have you ever lost rank? And if so, what do you do? And Joel just looked at me and said, let me ask you this. How many distributors do you have on your team? And at that time, I had 18 distributors. And he said, okay, now out of those 18 distributors, how many people do you have that are actually working their business? How many runners do you have? And I said, you mean besides me? And he said, yeah. And I said, 2. And he said, okay, well, go get 18 more. And then I just looked at his wife. I looked at Stephanie, and I was like, is he serious? Like, this was really hard for me to, I had sweaty palms, and I know I had probably had wet pit stains on my shirt because I was so nervous. And I just looked at her like, this guy's crazy. Like, really? Seriously? This was really hard for me to just come up and walk up to you guys and say hello and introduce myself. And that's all you're going to say? Go get 18 more? 4 words. That's all you have for me. And she said, well, he's right. Don't let the people that leave, don't let the people that haven't caught this vision, because you cannot teach the vision. It has to be caught. It cannot be taught. And she said, don't let those people that haven't caught that vision and they're not fully into their business, they're not all in, don't let those people drag you down. That doesn't mean completely ignore them, but wait for them to come to you and let them know when they're ready to run with their business, you'll be there to help coach, guide, and train them to success. In the meantime, she said, Joel is absolutely right. Go get 18 more. So that was in July. I left there, getting to, and over the process before that, like in February, I flew to Minnesota to go to a 1 Team 1 mission with Cami. I went to Grand Rapids, It Works You in Michigan. I don't even remember when that was. I think that was like April or May. And then went to Green Carpet in July. And I came back from Green Carpet like it was a conference. If you've never been to an It Works event, you have to go, because It Works events, there's just nothing like it. The energy that's in that room, I don't care if it's a 1 Team 1 mission, if it's conference, if it's an It Works You, a boot camp, whatever it might be. There is nothing that compares to being surrounded by thousands of like-minded people that join this business for similar reasons like you, and that just want to be successful and help people with their health and wellness and help them reach financial freedom. And so every event I've gone to, it's just pumped me up even more. So I've been to one here in Columbus, and that was under Sarah Rankin's team, which was really cool. I love their team. They have a great fire and energy about them. So I came back from Green Carpet, had this ultimate fire underneath my butt, and I just started working. And I started realizing that you can't just post, even though posting, I literally built 99% of my business on Facebook just for making posts and sharing what I was doing. But I wasn't really messaging people the way I should have been. I wasn't taking that massive action that I needed to get the massive results that I was expecting. Because you hear a lot of people say, if you want to make a part-time income, then you work this business part-time. But if you want to make a full-time income and you want to replace your full-time income, then you have to work this business like a full-time job. And so I kind of just switched my mindset, came back from Green Carpet, and just started bringing on new people. And I just started talking to every single person I could. I blitzed every single place I went. It didn't matter if people were talking and I didn't want to interrupt them. I left a business card. I left a blitz card, connecting with people. And then I just made it a goal, and I never knew what a 6 list was. So I just started writing a list down every single day. What are 6 things that I can do that are money producing activities that I can use to grow my business every single day? Even with a daycare in my home, how can I work my business every single day? So I always make sure that I at least send out at least 10 new friend requests. And if you are not currently friends with me on Facebook, you can feel free to add me on Facebook. I also have a YouTube channel, and I have a lot of training videos on there. I also have a training video on there that explains how I add people to Facebook. So it's not just random people. You can actually target the market that you want to reach out to. There's lots of training videos on my YouTube channel. And so, like I said, I do a lot. Like I try to send out at least 10 friend requests every day. I send out a minimum of 25 messages every single day, whether that's to new people or potentials I've been working with, because planting seeds is so, so important in building those relationships. I make sure that I am making some type of a post about my business, the products, my team. One thing that I think has really helped to turn my team around and really boom my business is the fact that I make sure that I take time out every single week to shout out at least 1 or 2 of my team members. Because when people see that you're not just in this business for yourself, that you're excited for your team and you're excited for the people on your team, even your sideline sisters, when you see that they're getting promoted or they've done something awesome. Like, I don't know if you guys were able to get into the $1 million giveaway drawing, but I worked my butt off. And you know what I loved about that drawing was that it put my butt into high gear, okay? So when I normally would send out 25 messages a day, do you know that what they wanted us to do to get $1 million entry, they only gave us 5 days to do it. And what they wanted us to do normally takes most average distributors a month to accomplish, right? So, but they knew that. And they did that because they wanted to see who had that fire and who was really desperate, who really, really wants this. And so I sent out 1,013 messages in a matter of 5 days. And a lot of people are like, there's no way possible without getting put in Facebook jail that you could have ever done that. And I'll tell you how I did it. So if you guys are familiar with Facebook Messenger, there's so many different features to Messenger. One of those is you can record your voice, okay? Another one is you can record a short 15 to 20-second video. When you do that and you send that to one person, on the left-hand side, there's that little rectangle with an arrow pointing up. You can actually send that same voice message if you make it generic and you don't put someone's name in it. Same way with the video. You can send that to every single person on your friends list if you want. Facebook's algorithm cannot hack that. So you can literally send out as many messages a day as you want. So if you have a good script that you really like and you find that people are really responding to that, then voice record it or do a little video. You know, like my team, one thing that we're doing, about 2 months ago, I started trying to think, okay, and this might be a really good tip for you guys too. So I went and, you know, Google is amazing. Google's like my best friend. It's one of my best business friends. So I Googled calendars because you ever see those people on Facebook, and sometimes they drive you crazy because they're like, oh, today's National Hot Dog Day. Today's National Donut Day. Today is, you know, Kiss Your Boyfriend Day or whatever. There is a day for everything for every single day of the year on the calendar. So what I did was I Googled that. I found a calendar, downloaded it. So at least once a week I find something, and whether I post it publicly on Facebook or if I send it privately in a message, like let's say there was it was like a national something about your dog day. And so I went through, and I didn't go through every single one of my friends. I've got over 3,300 friends on Facebook, but I just went through a bunch that I have a lot of interaction with that have been fence sitters and anyone that owns a dog. I messaged out to them and said, and I literally didn't talk about the business, didn't talk about the products, didn't talk about me. Just said, you know, hey, did you know that today is National Dog Day or whatever? And I know that you are, you know, a fur baby mama or daddy or whatever. So just wanted to let you know in case you wanted to go buy your pet a special treats. And there was like a couple of pet stores, I think like Pet Supplies Plus and PetSmart that had like a free treat if you brought your dog in that day or something. And then like parents that have kids, there's always a day every year that's Krispy Kreme. If you bring your kid in or if you dress up as a pirate, you get a free donut. So like I send those private messages out to people and let them know. Or like when Chipotle does like free burrito day, like for Halloween, if you came in a costume, you got a free burrito. So I love to do that because it lets people know it's not all about the business. It's showing them, because one thing people want to see on your page, and you're going to find you're going to have more followers and more people add you as a friend on Facebook if you are entertaining. Your page has to be entertaining. There has to be interaction. So another good tip that I love to give out is find some way at least 2 to 3 times a week to make an interactive post. Now, I don't mean like, hey, like I just did one yesterday for products. It was a business one, and I had envelopes, and it said, and there was like 30 envelopes, and I said pick a numbered envelope and comment below, and then I'll do a drawing, which I just did at 8 o'clock earlier, my time. And I was only going to pick one winner. I ended up doing, I think, 14 winners. So, you know, I'm giving out like a week of greens or like a week's worth of WOW or a free facial, free wrap. I've got like a free bottle of ThermaFit, a couple bottles of Fat Fighters I'm giving out. And of course, you don't have to go to this extreme. But, you know, that's one version of an interactive post, but that's more of a business interactive post. When I say interactive post on your page, something as generic as just posting a picture, making your own collage of something like, let's say Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks or Pepsi and Coke, and ask for people's opinion. Which do you prefer? Let's see who the winner is. You know, you're gonna be surprised how many people comment and like those kinds of posts because it's entertaining. They're curious to know. They want their opinion to be known. Everybody has opinions just like that. We all have you know whats. And everybody wants to share their opinion. And especially with all the political hype that's been going on, people want to see something positive. They don't want to see all the negativity and the hatred and the violence. They want to see something positive. And if you can create that positive persona on Facebook, people are going to be drawn to that. And they're going to know that if they're having a bad day, they can come to your page to catch inspiration, motivation, encouragement, something inspiring, maybe a good Bible verse that's going to speak to them. So people, you want to do something with your page. And if you have to totally revamp your page, then you need to do it. If you're finding that you're not getting a lot of likes and comments on your It Works posts, that's okay. But what you need to do, like I said, is you need to do at least 1 or 2 interactive posts every single week so you're getting more interaction on those posts. Because the way the Facebook algorithm works is for every time someone comments on your post, it bumps it up not only in their newsfeed, but then again in your newsfeed with your friends. So every comment, every like, every share, that bumps your stuff up. Now, if you comment on someone's page, let's say Tabitha has a picture of a dog and I comment, I like it and I comment on it. If she comments back or likes my comment, then instead of, did you know that your stuff on Facebook is only visible to about 13% of your friends list? But it's when you have those interactions that it bumps up that percentage higher and higher and higher. So the more that you interact and you're not just scrolling for fun, but you got to scroll and you got to comment and you got to like on people's posts, even if it's just an emoji with a thumbs up or a laughing emoji, that is considered a comment and that actually earns you points. And Facebook runs by points. Okay, they have like a point system. So it's really important that you're creating those relationships and continuing to build on it. So like on people's posts. If you have someone that's a fence sitter, what I do, go to their page and like one of their posts within the last 48 hours and then like and comment on another. And that's it. Because you don't want to be a Facebook stalker, but you just want to help to bump up your stuff in their newsfeed and let them see, oh, hey, she keeps liking and commenting on my stuff, you know, and then your stuff's going to pop up. So then what are they going to do in return? They're going to start liking and commenting on your stuff. And then you're going to find that they're going to start responding more and more to what you have to say and what you're posting. Now, when you send someone a message on Facebook, that pops up your stuff into their newsfeed even more too. So the more interaction you have, the more people are going to see your stuff. And I cannot say enough about Facebook Live videos. Facebook Live videos have been probably the biggest turning point in my business. I don't necessarily want to go Facebook Live all the time because I work at home in my pajamas babysitting other people's kids. So I'm constantly covered in poop, puke, boogers, you name it, and I don't want to go Facebook Live. But the thing is that when people see you in the real and in the raw, they know that you're human. They know that you're a mom. You're a stay-at-home mom. They know what you do. But when you do a Facebook Live, or even if you just put a little recording up, do a little video. Whenever you post a video or you do a Facebook Live, technology is awesome on Facebook because it shows you how many viewers have watched it. Now, a lot of people will say, well, yeah, I can go in there and watch this video, and then if I go back in another day, it's going to count again. No, every person that watches only counts for one tick. So if you have 237 views on your video, that's 237 separate people that are watching. They may not all comment, they may not all like, but that's how many people are watching. So I like to do at least 3 Facebook Lives every week, even if it's just a 30-second one or whatever, because what that does is I know it, number one, it helps to boost my confidence that I know I still have people watching, because I know it can get frustrating when you make a post about a product or like our holiday gift sets or about the business and nobody's commenting, nobody's liking, except for other It Works distributors, right? Or your family, like your mom or your sister or your kids or whatever. And that can get a little frustrating because you're like, is anybody even seeing this? Why am I posting this? So that's why if you throw in a Facebook Live video, you can see you do have an audience. People are always watching. So those are just some of the things I do. Another thing that I like to do is blitzing is something I feel like that's my favorite thing. I know so many people get scared to death. Blitzing is just not something that they like to do. They're like, nope, I'm going to stick to Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat, whatever's working, whatever you think might be working for you. But I'm going to tell you, if your business is not where you want it to be right now, then you need to change something. And the best way to do that is to step out of your comfort zone. I know that you guys see posts all the time from top leaders that say, you know, you have to get out of your comfort zone if you want your business to boom. And you have to. You know, you have to be willing to do that. So a couple of ways that I love to blitz, because like I said, don't get me wrong, my palms still get sweaty. I love to blitz. I make sure that I make it a point to leave the house almost every single day, even if it's, you know what, we only have like 3/4 of a loaf of bread. We're going to need more bread by the end of the week. I'm just going to go get a loaf of bread because it's an excuse to get out there. And so even if it's just, if I go to the gas station, get a loaf of bread, I can blitz whoever's in the gas station. I can go put up a blitz card or a business card in the bathroom on the baby changing station. You know, I can put one in the mirror. Another place I love to put one is, you know, when you go into the bathroom and you sit down on the toilet in the stall, there's that hook on the back of the door. You can almost always slide the corner of a business card or a blitz card in there, because what are people going to look at when they sit down on the toilet? What's in front of them? It's the door. So I always love, and a lot of times if you go to a mall, they'll have those plastic little like frames that are screwed to the back of the door of the stall, and they have like store ads. Slip a business card, slip a catalog in there, you know. So I like to make sure that I blitz wherever I go. And if you go through a drive-through, I've even done Facebook Lives on my team page to prove to my team how easy it is to blitz if you just get it out of your own way. So what I'll do is I'll go live and I'll say, all right, guys, so I'm in a drive-through. I'm going to show you guys, like, when I tell you this is how I blitz, this is literally how I blitz. And I'll put my phone up on my dashboard, on the holder, and I'll pull up and I'll order, you know, my drink or whatever. And then when I get up to the window, I'll be like, and they'll tell me what my total is. I'll be like, you know, you're really nice. Like, you have such great customer service skills. You're so nice and bubbly. You know, is this all you do for a living? If they look young, I'll ask them how old they are. And if they're not 18, I'll be like, when do you turn 18? And they'll look at me like I'm this crazy, you know, lady. And I'm like, well, I'm just curious because I think you would be really good at what I do. Have you ever heard of It Works Global before? If you obviously know that they're 18 or whatever, they definitely look over 18. Then I'll say, you know, you ever thought about working from your phone, you know, part-time just to make a little bit of extra cash? Be like, well, yeah, who wouldn't? That's usually the answer I get. I'll say, I would love to set up a time where maybe I can treat you to a cup of coffee, or I can have you over to my house for a sample session and let you sample some of our products and just introduce you to what it is that I do. Would you be interested in that? And I hardly ever get anyone that says no, because when you start off every conversation, when you're talking with someone in person, even when you're messaging out to someone, the most important thing you can do is never, ever, ever use a generic script. So don't ever say, hey girl, or hey you know, always put their name in there, like good morning Tabitha, or hey girl, how's Tabitha doing today? I always start off with their name, and then the first thing I do after that is I always compliment them. So if I just saw that they were just at the pumpkin patch this past weekend, then I'll send a message and be like, oh my gosh, I loved your pictures of you and your kids at the pumpkin patch. You know, don't be fake, be honest, you know, go to their profile before you message them and kind of look at their stuff and find some type of a common ground where you can talk to them about. If you see that they like, you know, like the Cleveland Cavaliers or the Chicago Bulls or something like that, and maybe that's one of your teams that you follow, you know, find that common ground, somewhere where you can have that common ground and talk about the game that was just on, or what do you think the Bulls are going to do this year, this season, or whatever. Or if you see that they love, you know, crafting, they love DIY, they love to save money. You know, a lot of people on my friends list, they know that I love to find a good deal. So I'll pass along, like when you can get like 50 free prints from Walgreens or something, I'll send it to those people in private message, or I'll post it on Facebook and say, hey guys, I don't want you to miss out on this deal. Go take some pictures for the holidays and then hurry up and send them off to Walgreens to get them for free. Or like, I just posted a bunch of deals for Kohl's. That Kohl's has a bunch of really good deals right now with Kohl's Cash and stuff. So I always post that so people know they can come to me for really good deals. And then they know that I'm going to do the same thing with them with my business. You know, I'm not going to try to sell them something that I know is outside of their price range. So especially for those people that you know, or you see them posting that they're struggling, don't ever be afraid to talk to them about the business either. I always start off with talking to them about the products, and I always ask them, what are your health and wellness goals? And then they tell me, and I say, okay, well, let me ask you this. You don't have to tell me, but is there a monthly budget amount that you would feel comfortable spending every month to help you meet those health and wellness goals? And then when they tell you, you know what their health and wellness goals are, and you know what their budget is. So now you can let them know that you can help them to create a customized plan for those 3 months, the minimum for the loyal customer program. You can set up a customized plan with them that's going to not only help them meet their health and wellness goals, but also fit their budget. So they know that it's not all about the money. You're not just trying to make a sale, because little do they know we only make 15% off of those sales anyway. We make the bulk of our sales from, signing new team members and getting, a bunch of loyal customers. And so I always ask them those questions. And then if they say, well, I really just don't have the money. I can't even afford, a $23 bottle of Fat Fighters. I flip the script on them and I say, you know what? And then I feel like I would be doing you a disservice if I didn't, offer to talk to you and introduce you to the business. Would you be open to watching a video, a short 20-minute video, and then, talking with me afterwards, with any questions you might have? And so I actually have a video on my Facebook or on my YouTube channel that I give to my team that they can send to their potentials, that explains to them just the business side of the Party Pad. And then I tell them in the very end, make sure you get back with the distributor who sent you this video, so that they can help to answer any fears or questions you might still have. And then once they get back with that person, so let's say they say, all right, well, I'll watch a video. The next question you need to ask them is, well, when do you think you might have a chance to watch it? And the reason I always do that is because you want to find out what their timeline is. If they say, well, I don't think I'm going to have time tonight, but I'll try to do it tomorrow. I'll say, okay, how about tomorrow night, about the same time, I'll touch base with you to see if you've had a chance to watch that video yet. And then that way kind of lets them get that sense of urgency that you really want them to watch it. And then once they've watched it, follow up with them and say, okay, cool. Would you be okay with hopping on a live video chat with myself and my upline, just for about for about 10 or 15 minutes or so. So we can kind of just talk about, anything else, and you can ask questions, you can hear her story or his story or whatever. And the reason I do that is because, number one, you show them the video, so it takes the pressure off of you having to give that presentation and getting fumbled on your words or word vomiting all over them. It takes that pressure off of you. You just have to learn to be a professional inviter. So send them that video, get them to watch it, and then afterwards, ask if they're open to getting on a Zoom with you and your upline. And what that does is now that shows them that, oh my gosh, the person that sent this video, and then now I get to I'm going to go on a video chat with their upline. So that shows them that if they join, they're not going to be in business by themselves. They're going to have the same support that you have to work this business. So they know that they're not having to do it all by themselves. So that kind of helps to give them that sense of, okay, so maybe it's not as hard as some people make it out to be. So I always find that has been really beneficial for my team. Another thing is, weekly Zooms. We do Zooms every single week. And even if it's, 20 minutes long, sometimes they're an hour long. And we just kind of touch base. And I see where everyone's at, where they're struggling. They all know the morning of the Zoom that if they have any questions, they write them down so that they know when I open it up for questions at the end, we can address all those questions. If they, have any issues with someone maybe that they don't know how to answer, then we do it on the Zoom so everyone can hear, like, oh, okay, so if someone says that to me, I know what to do. I also like to do, for those that are local, I open up my home as the team leader to my entire team to invite not only their potentials, but I invite my potential customers and distributors. Every single Friday night, we do a party at my house. And if we don't get any guests, we turn it into a team training and we do a power hour, and then we go out and we blitz together. So it gets people more comfortable with blitzing. I show them what to do. I go with them. So if they're not sure what to do or what to say, I say, all right, well, here, I'll show you. This is how I do it. Because so many people are like, I can't just walk up to someone and just blitz them and be like, hey, have you ever heard of It Works? And And a lot of times too, get your family involved. If your family is supportive, you're very, very blessed, number one. Number two, get your family involved. Have them post, share your posts, have them go with you when you talk to people. Get them an It Works shirt so that people can see that you have that family support. I'm trying to think of some other things. I know with blitzing, one of my favorite things to do is, as much as I love to blitz, I hate to give away my blitz cards because, number one, Pam Souter always says we need to stop treating it like a blitz card. We need to treat it like a coupon card that it is, because that's what it is. It truly is a coupon. People love coupons, and when they hear it's a $5 coupon, people want it. So one thing I like to do, though, is, and I found that it's more beneficial and I'm getting more customers and more potentials by doing it this way. And so what I do is I will only have one blitz card with me, and it's on a lanyard or it's hanging from my purse. And they'll say, you know what, do you have a business card or something? I'll be like, oh, you know what, I need to reorder. You know what? And I'll hand them my phone and I'll say, can you just plug your number into my phone? And then when I get home, I will take a picture of it and I'll text it to you. So then guess what? Number one, you've got their name because they plugged in their information into your phone. And if they don't put their name in there, be like, what was your name again? I'm sorry. And then you can add their name to it. Then when you get home, you can legitimately take a picture of a blitz card and or your business card and send it to them. And then, did you know that you can find people on Facebook by plugging in their phone number? If they've ever logged into Facebook from that number, from their cell phone, then you can actually find their Facebook. I'm not saying go and like Facebook stalk them and hurry up and add them as a friend, but what it does is it kind of gives you a heads up and it lets you kind of get to know the person a little bit better. So you know if they're a sports fan or if they're a dog lover or whatever the case might be. Another thing I love to do is when I do blitz someone and I get their number, I always make sure within an hour after I leave, I send them a text right away. Say, it was so nice to meet you, and I say their name, and I tell them where I met them. It also is a memory jogger for me, so when I'm texting back and forth, I can always scroll back and see where it was that I met them, and I immediately add them to my hundreds list. I'm trying to think. There's I had so much stuff. Do you have any questions, like any specific questions, or?
Can you tell us how you would just go up to someone and blitz them? How do you, rather than just walking up and saying, yeah, have you heard of it work?
Yeah. Okay, so one way that is that I blitz is, let's say you're at the grocery store and you're in the checkout lane. So number one, always wear your gear. And if you don't have, I know you do, but if any of your team, let's say they don't have an It Works t-shirt, there's $20 t-shirts on the website. Spend that little bit, sell an extra wrap this month so that you have that money to put on your card in your account or whatever, and buy yourself an It Works shirt. Because I'm telling you, when you wear the gear, sometimes the gear talks for you. It does the talking for you. People will say, what works? Or they'll say, I love that shirt. Oh, I know. Thank you so much. Our company has the cutest clothes and I get paid to wear them. And it's a tax write-off. And they're like, what? People hear the words tax write-off and they go nuts. So I always make sure I have my It Works gear on. My bracelets, the rubber bracelet that comes in your business builder kits. In fact, if you can't afford a shirt, you can go to the It Works store and they have a 3-pack of the skinny rubber bracelets. And they're $4. So, and if you've got new people coming on and you can't really afford to get them, anything, let's say they get their first 4 little customers, that's one of the first things I do is I get them a little something from It Works. We've got the water bottles that have the Blitz card holder for $5. We've got those 3 packs of bracelets that are $4. So, spend a little bit to let them know that you're proud of their success and their progress thus far, and this is just the beginning. So wear your It Works gear, wear the bracelets, wear a shirt, whatever. Hang a Blitz card from your purse. I also have a phone case. I don't have it on here now because I did a live video yesterday doing my makeup. So I have my light up selfie case. Oh, let me show you. It's my favorite. It's really bright. It's awesome. So anyway, But I do have a case you can get literally from, I think I got it at Five Below, and it was, I think, $4. But it's a clear, if you get yourself a clear cell phone case, you can cut a Blitz card to fit in the back of the phone case. So if you're scared to Blitz, guess what? When you go up to the counter to pay at the checkout, set your phone down face first so that they see that Blitz card on the back of your phone case. Or have a Blitz card hanging from your purse. And I always like to set my purse up at eye level up on the counter with the Blitz card facing them. And I watch them. And as soon as I see them make eye contact with that Blitz card, I'm like, oh, have you heard of It Works Before and that crazy rap thing? Because I don't have to worry about a conversation starter. All I'm waiting for them is to see it. And it's kind of hard to miss it when it's big and bold and green and black. And they see that and they're like, what is that? You see the look in their eyes and you see when they make eye contact with it. So then I'd immediately just say, oh, have you ever heard of It Works in the Crazy Rap thing before? And then it kind of just gets the conversation started. Now, as far as walking up to people, y'all are going to think I'm crazy. But when it was that $1 million giveaway time, it was 11:30 at night. I was one loyal customer away from getting my $1 million giveaway entry. And I literally went into a 24-hour store and I had a bunch of packets of WOW. And I walked up to complete strangers and I said, excuse me, ma'am, or excuse me, sir, can I WOW you? I got a lot of crazy looks. I had people tell me to get the heck away from them. But I did have about 4 people out of, I would say, 9 or 10 that said, okay. And they let me WOW them. One of those signed up as a customer that night. 2 signed 2 days later. It was 11:56, but I didn't stop. And so I know, again, that probably sounds crazy and most people are not comfortable doing that, but that's how bound and determined I was to get that entry and get that last customer so I could get that entry into the $1 million giveaway. And so when they did that giveaway, it just reminded me, like, that's the kind of massive action that we need to take, even if it's just 1 week a month, that you take that massive action. Doesn't mean don't work your business the other 3 weeks of the month. But if you take massive action like that, just 1 week out of every month, and then work your business like you normally do the other 3 weeks, imagine where your business is going to be 3 months from now. So when I go blitzing, I will literally just walk up to someone. I will see. Have you guys ever seen the like scavenger, the blitzing scavenger hunts? So what I do with my team, and I even do this for myself, even when I don't have anyone else with me, I will give myself a list of like 5 to 10 people. Find someone wearing black, bling, or green. Find a woman with a baby. A man wearing lime green. Let's see. Like if I'm going to the grocery store, then I have to blitz someone that's in the, like, getting milk, like shopping for milk, or in the toilet paper aisle, or, you know, I'll just come up with random things. You can come up with scavenger hunt ideas all over the place. But I just come up with a random list of different things, and I am not allowed to leave. I don't let myself leave until I get all of those people. And so let's say I'm looking for a guy. Those are the ones that intimidate me the most. It's so much easier for me to blitz women than it is for men. And I know that's a lot of women's, you know, issue with blitzing men. So what I found is I just have to walk up to them and find something. So if I just kind of do the elevator eyes and I just kind of scan them over. You know, what are they wearing? Is something that they're wearing something similar to like maybe what my husband has, or something I've been looking for my husband, or I like their hat or their shoes, or maybe they look like they're trying to figure out which milk to buy or whatever. And I find some kind of a way to strike up just a tiny bit of a conversation with them just to kind of break the ice. You know, so let's say the guy is looking for milk and he's like, and I'm like, you know, and I'll say, do you need some help? Or be like, it's confusing now. It can't all just be milk. It's got to be, you know, 2%, 1%, low fat, no fat, whole milk, organic milk, almond milk. You know, I think there's even cashew milk now and whatnot, you know. And, you know, I just find some type of a thing. Let's say it's a woman that has a purse and it's really, really cute. Oh my goodness, I love your purse. Where did you get that? and then just start the conversation that way. It helps to break the ice. And when you compliment, especially women, when you compliment women, it puts a smile on their face, and and then they're like, oh my good, thank you. Oh, I love this. It's my favorite. Or, oh my gosh, you should see the purses I have at home, or whatever. So it gets the conversation piece started. And then I just kind of, if I go from there and they say, oh, well, thank you, I love it. I'm like, yeah, I've been looking. Our company's got this really cute purse I've been wanting to get, but I got to sell a few more wraps before I can afford to get it. And then guess what? I've kind of put a little bit of a bug in their ear, and they're like, what do you mean wraps? Like, oh, have you ever heard of It Works in that crazy wrap thing? And I'll pull a Blitz card out and show them. Another way you can do it, like, let's say you're looking, one of your scavenger hunt things is like a woman with a baby. Hello, if the baby's cute, most babies are, I would say 99.999% of babies are cute. Tell them like, oh my gosh, your daughter is beautiful. Oh my gosh, she has the beautiful eyes, or I love their outfit, or, whatever. Is this your only child? Is this your first child? Strike up a conversation. Again, that's why I say whenever you're messaging someone, if you talk to them on the phone, if you're texting them, or if you talk to someone, always start off with a compliment. Because when you compliment someone, instead of them being standoffish, I don't know if you guys ever noticed or anything about posture, but when you give someone a compliment, they're going to go from being closed-shouldered to opening up their body to you, and they're going to turn their body towards you. Their body language says a lot, and so does yours. So make sure you stand tall, you have a smile on your face. Don't act like, oh my gosh, this is work. So, hey, have you ever heard of It Works Global? I'm supposed to hand you, like, I'm not even kidding. I've had team members that have done that. They're like, I don't want to do this scavenger hunt thing, but she said she's treating us to Starbucks afterwards, and I want my free coffee. So they will literally, and I have watched them from the sidelines and be like, hey, excuse me, sir. So I'm doing this like scavenger hunt thing with my team. I just need to give you my card. So just take a look at it. If you have a minute, no pressure. If you're interested in anything, just, my contact information's on there. Okay, cool. Thanks. And I'm like, are you serious? That could not have been more salesy and spammy. I'm like, you can't do it like that. You can't approach people like that. Like there's people, you guys ever gone to your mall or like a really fancy mall and they have all those kiosks down the center, and there's always that crazy salesperson that's like, oh girl, come here, you got to try this. And they will follow you halfway down the hallway to get you to try to take this sample, or let you sit down so they can do your hair, straighten your hair, put these extensions on you, or try this new mineral cream or whatever. We don't want to be those crazy. I mean, we're crazy rap ladies and all, but we don't want to be that kind of crazy. We want to show them that we're considerate and that we're, we are not here to tear each other down. We're here to build each other up. And if we're creating that persona for ourselves, you're creating a brand. You're representing the brand for It Works, but you're also creating your own personal brand. And people do not want to follow someone that's pushy. They don't want to follow someone that's negative or that isn't enthusiastic and passionate about what they do. So if you don't have passion for it, then people are not going to follow you. They're not going to want to take your Blitz card. They're not going to give you their information. It's all about your excitement and your energy. And one last blitzing tip that I love to do, and I found that it's worked so well, is get you a business card. Business cards are not that expensive at all. If you can't afford it, that's okay. Use your Blitz cards, whatever. But one thing that I like to do when you ever come across those people where they're like, I don't have time. I'm on my way out there. I can't. You know what I mean? Like they're like, oh, I don't have time. I'm on my way out the door. I've got other things to do. I'm on my way to a game. I got to go pick up my kids from school. One thing that I found that works really, really well, I just say, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but all you got to do is text this number before noon tomorrow. And let's say I met them at Walmart. And I'll say, just text the word Walmart to this number before noon tomorrow, and I will put you into my drawing for a free wrap. Okay? And so then what that does is, most of the time I find that as soon as they get out to their car, they're texting me. A lot of times that works really great at vendor events too. If people are like, they kind of sort of stop at your booth, but you can't really get them to focus. There's other things, or maybe it's just really busy, or they've got kids with them, and they're their concentration just really isn't there. So I'll do the same thing there, and I'll say, take one of these, text the number, text, vendor show, or, maybe it was a holiday craft show or whatever, just text, holiday craft show, or like we have a thing here in Columbus for the 4th of July called Red, White, and Boom. And I set up a booth just on a side street on the parade route. And, I did that. And I stood out in front of the table. I handed out samples of greens and greens shoes. And I handed out my business card to a ton of people. And I said, do you guys want to enter my free drawing? Take this and just text Red, White, and Boom to this number before noon tomorrow, and you'll be entered into my free giveaway. And people love that. When you plug that word free, man, oh man, do people flock. And you will get a ton of numbers. You'll get a ton of people to message you. And then when they message you, when they text you, the first thing I do is, thank you so much for entering my giveaway. What was your name? So I can write your name down for the drawing. And then I start asking them, be like, that's awesome. So are you from Columbus? Are you from here? Whatever. Were you here visiting? That type of thing. So I start to kind of build a relationship with them that way. And then I'll say, you know what? Are you on Facebook? Because I would love for you to get a chance to kind of check out some of the stuff that I have going on. And then that way I may actually give you a couple of options, as far as like a prize or whatever. Or if I say, well, you didn't win, I'll text them back a couple days later and I'll say, well, you didn't win the free wrap, but you did win a free sample session. And I can't remember what leader it was. I think it was a presidential, had posted something in a leadership group a couple of weeks ago and said, just by changing up the words from a sample party, or I like to call my wine and facial parties like sip and sample parties. Those seem to be really popular. But she said if she changed it to a free sample session, they don't feel like it's a party, so they don't have to really prepare for it. They just got to get a couple of friends to come over. And people are really flocking to that. People are signing up left and right to host parties for you. And you don't have to have every single product in the catalog to have a successful party. If they're interested and they were interested in, like, say, like the facial care line or whatever, do a wine and facial party. You can get, a decent bottle of wine. Oh my gosh, my favorite is called Flip Flop wine. I get it at Kroger, and I can't remember the other store I get it at. But it's like $6 a bottle. Super cheap, but it tastes amazing. People love it. And so I'll take a complimentary bottle of wine. I'll go to the Dollar Tree and I'll get a wine gift bag, and I'll say, I brought this for you and your guests. Okay, so it's $6. Bring your facials, and then I'll have like the cleanser so they can clean their face first, because it only takes a little bit. Let them wash their face with the cleanser. So guess what? Now they're getting introduced to the cleanser. Let them use the lip and eye. They're getting introduced to the lip and eye. Use the wow on them. You can do one packet and that can cover a good 3 people. Just let them do one eye. Now they're getting the cleanser, the lip and eye, the wow cream, and they're going to do a facial. So now you're introducing them to 4 products, and you can literally do this party just like that with just those 4 products, and then show them the catalog and show them that we do have other natural facial products. And you can do that party in less than 45 minutes. So nobody feels like it's a long commitment or you're taking up their entire Friday night or Saturday or whatever. And people like that. They like for the home parties to be in and out and done. A couple quick tips about parties. I have a prize wheel, and then I have, and it's going to sound really silly, but I do everything on the cheap. So I got a piece of black foam board from the Dollar Tree for $1, cut it in half, and then I took some plastic like red Solo cups, and I hot glued them. So I have 4 rows or 3 rows of 4 cups, or vice versa. And then I just took a $1 pack of black tissue paper and a pack of rubber bands. And then I take index cards, and I will write, $5 off a wrapper facial, free shipping on your first order. Let's say $10 off a wrapper facial. I'll tell them free upgraded shipping. From standard shipping, I'll upgrade it to like 3 to 7 day shipping for them. And then I just fold it in half, and I put it inside I put one in each one of the red Solo cups, cover it with tissue paper, and put a rubber band over it. So they punch for a prize. Now, the only way they get to punch for a prize is if they place an order that night. Now, let's say you get loyal customers that are, you know, people that are already customers at that party, or a current loyal customer that is willing to host the party. So what I offer for them is I let them have a chance to punch up for a prize too, but they have to place an additional order in addition to their monthly auto ship. And we wait, and I have my laptop out and ready with the website up and ready to go. Once they have their confirmation screen popped up and their order's been placed, they get to punch for a prize. Now there's 12 cups. I have 4 whammies. So not everybody's going to be a winner. Then the prize wheel, I literally, again, on the cheap, the Dollar Tree, in the school section, they have a pack of 4 game spinners. And I just took a glue dot and put it on the other half of that foam board that I paid $1 for, and took some dollar sticker letters from the Dollar Tree and put "It Works Prize Wheel," and they get to spin if they sign up or if they book a party. So if they book a party that night and they give you a date and a time, they get to spin the prize wheel. Now those prizes, what I do is, let's say they land on there was 8 numbers. They land on the number 8. I have an envelope that has an index card with the prize written on it, and it's sealed in an envelope labeled number 8. Okay? And so if they land on number 8 or whatever number, I give them the envelope, they open it up, and it'll be like a free bottle of Fat Fighters, Confianza, a free wrap and a free facial. It might be a $25 off their an additional order, or, you know, whatever the case might be. I try to keep it $25 and below. But they don't get that prize until the night of their party, because otherwise you're going to have people that are going to cancel their party last minute, and they only said they would book a party so they could get that free prize. So I always wait until the night of the party, and then I give them their prize. And that's actually how I start off the party, because I show people, see, if you book a party, then you would actually, the night of your party, you would get your gift. So this is the gift that this person won for booking a party and actually holding the party, because it's opening up your network to more people. And then if they sign as a distributor the night of the party, I always give them a free box of wraps, always. So I give them the option, either $25 off their business builder kit, and I'll just give them a $25 to reimburse them, or I give them a free box of wraps. I don't think I've ever had anyone say, I'll take the $25, because they know, if they've already heard about the business, that a box of wraps is basically like $100 I'm giving you. So does that help at all? I hope. Did you or Angelia, is that her name?
Angeli.
Really? Did either of you have any other questions or anything?
Oh, I had one more on the messaging. Mm-hmm. So when you're messaging 25 people a day, it's not always about the business. You're just messaging 25 people a day.
Yep. But let's say, like, I work from my hundreds list. So I'll have a list of the 25 people I'm going to message, and I'll highlight them. And then let's say the last message I sent to that person was just like, hey, how are you doing? How was your weekend? And it's nothing about the business or the products. About every 2 messages, it will be about the products or the business. So like right now I'm concentrating on messaging people because my team and I are throwing a Black Friday sale. But the only way we're getting away with that to be compliant is it has to be a private event. So we're telling people, you know, if you want an invite, it is a secret Black Friday party or sale, but you can only be on this event by private invitation only. So we're asking people, can we add you to our VIP list? And then once we post the event, we're going to post it actually Friday, so it'll be 2 weeks out. And then we'll start posting teasers in the events so that they know before Black Friday, they already know all they need to know about the different products that are going to be in the sale. And then so at 12:01 a.m., we're going to go live with all the different deals. Now, so I'm focusing on right now, like, hey, even to my loyal customers, And I'll say, hey, we're going to have a secret Black Friday sale. Here, actually, I'll read you let me just read you an example of the messages that I'm sending out to invite them to my Black Friday event. So I'm saying, here again shows how I give a compliment to start with, and I talk about them. So I say, hey, Amy, looks like you had a great trip. Safe travels home. I wanted to ask you, have you seen my post about Black Friday? My team and I are having a secret Black Friday sale, and it will be a private event, so only those invited will be able to take advantage of any of our special deals. How would you feel about being added to my VIP list so that once I create the event, you will be invited? Another one is, hey, Sarah, how are you? Thanks for liking my post about Black Friday. I wanted to let you know that I am having a secret Black Friday sale with my team, and only those on our VIP invite list can attend. Would you like to be added to my VIP list? So it's not, like I said, it's not the same message all around, and because you don't want to be put in Facebook jail either. So and then like another one, like I'm just bringing up this girl, and she'll say, I have been working on her for about 2 weeks. And out of the blue, she sent me a message and said, I haven't forgotten about you, but I just started selling Mary Kay, and I've never heard of your company before. And I said, that's okay. One of my current distributors also sells Mary Kay. Maybe you'd be interested in trying out a product for 3 months to see what you think first before you dive head first into the business. And so then she asked, what exactly is it? And I said, we are an all-natural health and wellness company that is debt-free. We have stuff to help everyone and to fit every budget. And she said, how much would it be to try some of your products? And I said, well, it just depends on what you would like. So let me ask you a couple of questions. What are your health and wellness goals? And what would a comfortable monthly budget look like for you to spend on these products? She said, well, I would like to lose tummy weight. I like the weight everywhere else on my body, and I'm open as far as budget. So I responded with, actually, it sounds like our crazy wrap thing is exactly what you need. It tightens, tones, and firms in as little as 45 minutes, and even better results after 72 hours. Every time you wrap, the results get better and better. Wraps are just $59 for a box of 4. She said, let me think about it. That seems a little expensive. And again, it kind of threw me because she said she was open as far as budget. She said, that's a little expensive for something I can only use 4 times. So this is where I got her. I said, honestly, another product you might want to consider trying first is our cleanse. If it's tummy weight you're wanting to lose, a lot of that could be from excess sludge that's built up in your body. The cleanse is only $36. Plus, I'm offering all my new customers for this month only a check to reimburse you for shipping. And I'm throwing an additional free gift. If you order the cleanse, I'll give you the free wrap to try before you commit to the $59. And she said, okay, sounds good. Very interesting. And I said, so what do you say we just get you started off with the cleanse this month? I'll throw in a free wrap for you. And next month, we get you started on the wraps. And she said, sounds good. I'm ready to give it a try. So you just kind of have to speak on their level. You know what I mean? Like, ask them what their health and wellness goals are. And try to remember that when they ask a question, just answer the question that they asked. Try not to word vomit too much on them. Give them just enough information to keep them coming back for more. Any other questions?
Angelique, do you have any questions? I can ask a question.
Oh, no, I can't hear you now. I don't know what happened. Now I can't hear you. No. All right. Well, if you guys don't have any other questions, are you there now? No, I still can't hear you. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, it's been fun. Thank you so much for inviting me to come on and talk to you guys. So I hope that you guys took away a lot of tips. I hope I was able to give you guys a lot of great tips and insight. And I'm always more than welcome to answer any questions. So if any of you ever feel, like if you have a question, you're not sure how to answer it, or you ever want some tips, or just want some insight or whatever, feel free to follow my YouTube channel. I always record our team Zooms as well. So all of our team Zooms are on there, where we, discuss different topics and things like that. And just kind of gives you an idea of what we talk about. And, different incentives that I throw out there for my team every month and every week. That just really helps to get them motivated and amped up. And, another thing that I would say before we hop off of here is personal development is very, very, very important. So if you don't currently read any personal development books, you need to take time out, even if it's just 5 minutes a day. Find a really good personal development book. One of my favorite authors is John Maxwell. I love his books. There is a book called The John Maxwell Daily Reader. It's one of my favorites, especially for those of us on a time crunch. It's literally just a short and sweet little snippets. Let's see, Intentional Living. These are ones that I have by my side at all times. So this one is 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. This is a really good one. This is another one I love, and I share this on my team Zooms almost every week. This is by John Maxwell, called Make Today Count. And then this one is a personal favorite. This is a John Maxwell. It's just called Attitude 101. So those are just a couple. There's also another book, especially if you've ever, whether you feel that way now or not, if you ever felt discouraged in your business, like you're not good enough, or if you ever let anyone's opinion affect you and how you're working your business, a really, really good book to read is called Unqualified by Stephen Furtick. He's a pastor at Elevation Church. So you can also follow him on YouTube and check out his videos. They post his sermons on there all the time. They're really great. They're normally about 35 to 45 minutes long, but packed full of just awesome messages, very uplifting. The book Unqualified has blown my socks off. I'm already reading it for the second time, and I just got it like 2 weeks ago. But it just really reiterates that none of us are qualified, but it doesn't mean that you can't be successful. You got to put your faith in God and know that you were brought here in this business at the time you were for a reason, and God has a plan for you. He has a plan for each and every one of us. And it's up to us to trust in his plan and know that if you put forth the work and you plant those seeds and you continue to water the grass is not always greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it. Okay? So those are just a few personal development books that I really, really love that I would highly suggest. The other one is Intentional Living. I love that book. That one is a really, really good one too. So I hope you guys I hope I gave you a lot of really good information and some tips to help you guys. And like I said, if you ever have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm always more than happy to help. So thank you for having me. And I wish I could hear you. All right, guys. Well, it's been fun. And thanks again for having me on tonight, you guys. Have a good night.